Hello and many thanks for joining me on Express Update. We are coming to you from our studios here within the Ministerial Enclave. We are also on GoTV, channel 184. I am Peter Isia. Coming up in our stories this evening, Ghana launches Maiden National Death Care Week. Also coming up, government to build health posts at all land borders amid Ebola threat, says Deputy Health Minister. These and many other stories coming up shortly. Please do stay with us. And now the news in detail. The Mortuaries and Funeral Facilities Agency under the auspices of the Ministry of Health has launched Ghana's first National Death Care Week and Practitioner Induction in Accra. The event themed Dignifying the Dead, Protecting the Living. The role of the death care industry player comes amid rising Ebola cases in East and Central Africa, where the World Health Organization, WHO, has mandated that safe and dignified burials be conducted exclusively by trained teams in affected areas. Speaking for the Health Minister, Director of Technical Coordination of the Ministry, Dr. Hafiz Adam, emphasized that death care is a critical public health responsibility, especially during disease outbreaks, and urged practitioners to uphold professionalism, safety protocols, and industry standards.
To our inductees now, you are pioneers. History will remember you as part of the first formally inducted cohort of professionally trained mortuary attendants and embalmers in Ghana. This is an honor. We must also acknowledge and know that it is also a serious responsibility. You must become ambassadors of professionalism, discipline and confidentiality, compassion and integrity. Always remember that the bodies entrusted into your care are not merely remains. They are fathers, mothers, children, relatives, friends, and loved ones whose families deserve empathy, respect, dignity. I therefore urge you to continually upgrade your skills and adhere strictly to safety protocols, respect ethical guidelines, and work closely with institutions, regulatory authorities, and families. The future of this profession will depend significantly on standards you establish today. Ladies and gentlemen, no health system can function effectively when important sectors remain neglected and unregulated or undervalued. Today's ceremony, therefore, represents recognition, but they also represent reform, represents celebration, but they also represent progress, represents induction, but more importantly, it represents institutional transformation. As I conclude, Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let us all recommit ourselves to the principle captured in today's theme, dignifying the dead, protecting the living. May this principle guide our policies, our institutions, our professional conduct, and our national values. To all inductees once again, I congratulate you in this important achievement. May your services bring comfort to grieving families, safety to communities, and honor to this noble profession. May the Death Care Hero celebration grow into a lasting national tradition that celebrates compassion, professionalism, sacrifice, and dignity in service.
Still on health, the Deputy Minister for Health, Dr. Grace Ayensu-Danquah, has announced government plans to construct and fully equip modern health posts at all land borders across Ghana to strengthen disease surveillance and emergency response systems. She made the announcement during a working visit to the Aflao border post in the Volta region, where she assessed the country's preparedness against potential Ebola outbreaks.
According to Dr. Ayensu-Danquah, the initiative is necessary because temporal screening measures are no longer sufficient to address emerging global health threats. She explained that the proposed facilities will be equipped with isolation units, thermal scanners, rapid testing equipment, and staffed by trained medical personnel to ensure a swift response to health emergencies. The initiative forms part of government's efforts to safeguard public health, strengthen border health security, and enhance Ghana's capacity to detect and respond effectively to Ebola and other infectious diseases.
To some world news, Mayor of Accra, Michael Papo Alote, has donated 80,000 Ghana cedis to traders affected by the recent fire outbreak at the Accra Central. The donation made on behalf of the President, John Dramani Mahama, the Greater Accra Regional Minister, and the Mayor himself, is intended to provide immediate relief and support to victims as they work to recover from the devastating incident.
On behalf of the Excellency John Dramani Mahama, any Greater Accra Regional Minister, any local government minister, any mayor, we have one of our 80,000 Ghana cedis. Now, before Omodia ni Amashino, Omo to me, I told you, I need you, Omumba, any entire mission of our intervention. Now, Mudeta, this way I pick with the feedback about local government minister, the regional minister. Now you are picking it up from there. I mean, Shamu na me Shamu. Wow, only say we be here. Make a comment. But this is the time I say you enjoy it. God bless you all.
A Nigerian trader, Adapis, has been sentenced to 7 years in prison by an Accra Circuit Court after being convicted of human trafficking and immigration-related offences. The conviction followed an intelligence-led operation by the Ghana Immigration Service that rescued 2 Nigerian victims, aged 21 and 13, from exploitation in the Western North region. Investigations revealed that the victims were lured to Ghana with false promises of employment as shop attendants, but were instead forced into prostitution, with their earnings allegedly collected by the convict. The victims were reportedly subjected to threats and spiritual intimidation and compelled to work to repay an alleged debt of 6 million Nigerian naira. GIS has urged the public to be cautious of fraudulent job and travel offers, warning that traffickers increasingly use social media platforms and deceptive recruitment schemes to target vulnerable individuals. On to our last story, the Ghana Traditional Council has officially lifted the month-long ban on drumming and noise-making across the Ghana state, paving the way for activities leading up to this year's Homowo Festival. The lifting of the ban was marked with the performance of the traditional Odada rite by the people of Gamashi. The ceremony brought together indigenous and traditional leaders, many dressed in white, to observe the final ritual signifying the end of the customary restriction.
The Odada rite is a significant tradition in the Ghana calendar. Before the ban is imposed, the sacred Odada drums are beaten and their drumsticks are sent to the Ghana Manche Palace for safekeeping. At the end of the ban, the Gbese Manche formally requests the return of the drumsticks, presenting drinks in accordance with tradition. The Ghana Manche then releases the drumsticks, which are used by the Gbese Manche to beat the Odada drums, officially lifting the ban. The sounding of the drums was met with jubilation, singing, dancing, and celebration as residents welcomed the return of drumming and other festive activities. This year, the priests say the accompanying rains are a positive sign, symbolizing blessings and the promise of a bountiful harvest ahead of the annual Homowo Festival, one of the most important cultural celebrations of the Ghana people. The lifting of the ban now clears the way for the series of traditional and cultural events that will culminate in the Homowo festivals.
And that's how we wrap up on Express Update this evening. Thank you for sticking and staying with us. I'm Peter Nsia. Remember, the news keeps changing every day, but integrity must never change. Please do enjoy the rest of our programs.